All right, the Board of Trustees of Lamar Consolidated Independent School District is called to order at 7 o'clock p.m. This is our regular monthly board meeting being held on June 20th, 2019. We do have a quorum with all members present except for Mr. Hubenek. And we will now open the meeting with our traditional moment of silence for you to observe as you feel appropriate. All right, will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Dr. Randall, do we have recognitions tonight and awards?
Madam President, we do not have any recognitions and awards, but we do have some introductions.
Okay.
I was waiting for somebody else to come up and do this. First, I'd like to introduce you to the new Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Terry Mossett. Dr. Mossage is a May 2003 graduate of Texas Christian University with a bachelor's degree in physical education. In 2003, she received her master's in education administration from Texas Christian University. She received her educational leadership doctorate in 2013 from TCU as well. She has 25 years of experience in education, including 12 years experience as a principal, 1 year experience as the assistant superintendent of secondary education, and she has been serving as the interim chief academic officer since late March of 2019, and we are grateful she is here. Congratulations.
Should I say welcome?
Yes, we've got her working so hard already.
Next, I would like to introduce you to the new principal at Wertheimer Middle School, Sharon Kiddo. She is a December '91 graduate of Iowa State University with a bachelor's degree in physical education. She received a master's in '93 in kinesiology from Louisiana State University. She has 10 years of experience in education, including 4 years of teaching experience, 1 year as an instructional coach, 2 years as a testing coordinator, and most recently 3 years as an assistant principal. Congratulations. The new principal of Jackson Elementary is Tracy Mills. Tracy is a May 1991 graduate of Texas A&M University with a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies. She received a master's degree in 2003 in administration and supervision from the University of Houston. Tracy has 28 years of experience in education, including 15 years of teaching experience, 1 year as an instructional coordinator, and 12 years as an assistant principal. Congratulations. Next is Linda Eze, who is the new assistant principal at Lamar Consolidated High School. Linda is a May 2011 graduate of Stephen F. Austin State University with a bachelor's degree in English. In 2014, she received her master's in educational leadership from Stephen F. Austin State University. She has 8 years of teaching experience. Congratulations. The new Hubenak Elementary Assistant Principal is Dominique Harrison. Dominique is an August 2007 graduate of Texas State University with a bachelor's degree in agriculture. She received a master's degree in 2018 in administration and supervision from the University of Houston, Victoria. She has 10 years of experience in education, including 8 years of teaching and 2 years as an academic facilitator. Welcome aboard. And the last introduction for the evening is the new assistant principal at Long Elementary, Stacy Quarles. Stacy is an August 1994 graduate of the University of Houston with a bachelor's degree in communications. She received her master's in 2000 in curriculum and instruction from the University of Houston. She earned a second master's degree in 2018 in administration and supervision from the University of Houston, Victoria. She has 19 years of experience in education, including 14 years of teaching and 5 years as a facilitator.
Y'all have been busy. Very busy. Well, the next item on the agenda is audience to the patrons.
Madam President, we are now at the portion of the meeting when the board allots time to hear persons who desire to make comments to the board. Persons who wish to speak to the board must sign up to do so as they arrive, and they must indicate the topic about which they wish to speak. No presentation shall exceed 5 minutes. Delegations of more than 5 persons shall appoint one person to present their views. The board will hear the concerns, but the board cannot deliberate, discuss, or make a decision on any subject that is not posted on the agenda. Persons who speak to the board cannot complain about a district officer or employee in open session. Such concerns are heard in closed session after proper posting of the agenda item has occurred. As you come forward, would you please state your name and your address? And our first speaker is Kimberly Moeller.
Yes, my name is Kimberly Moeller. My address is 907 Pickett Hill Lane, Rosenberg, Texas, and I'm emailing you all a copy of my remarks tonight. I was here in January talking about the need to improve our special education services, and there are some new faces on the board, and I felt it was imperative that they hear me too. In January, I talked about the extreme waits for our kids to get their initial ARD meeting, in our case, a full semester before we could get the proper accommodations. But I'm here today to talk about the second major issue, and that is once you are actually allowed your accommodations, you then are forced to chase those services around the district. You don't get to stay at the same elementary for K through 5. And in this case, I'm talking about the PASS program, a vital behavioral program that continues to be moved and removed at will by the district so that our children are subject to the district's whims, while we as parents are given very little explanation for these moves and even less recourse. For the coming school year, the PASS program is being given a new name, the Social Emotional Support Class, or SESC, but the program is still not at every elementary, and that continues to be a glaring deficiency here. Our special needs kids simply need extra help to get through school and be successful, and yet they are penalized for needing that extra help. They are treated like second-class citizens whose feelings don't matter, but the truth is when our children are told that they can no longer be at one campus because the program they rely on will no longer be there, they feel that pain deeply. Change is not easy, but for our children it can feel nearly impossible. When you place a specialized behavioral program at a campus, what sense does it then make to remove that program after a few years and have children chase their vital services at another elementary across town? Our special needs kids need that constancy, that routine, that same sense of place, that feeling of belonging. They need all of that so much in order to thrive and in order to make progress. It is counterproductive to their success to yank that program out of their school after only a few years and then tell them, well, go get used to a totally new place now and start over and try to make it there. If you want services in this district, that is what you and your child are forced to do over and over, and it is cruel. I cannot tell you how heartbroken we were when, after being at his new elementary for only 5 months, we were told the program was being removed and my son would have to go elsewhere and start over yet again. He said it best when he asked me, if I'm doing good, why do I have to move? And I had no decent answer to that question, because there isn't one. My child is now in his 3rd elementary school in this district, and he is barely going into the 1st grade, and that is through no fault of his own and through no fault of our own as parents. We've made it a point to provide a stable life for him and not move around, and yet this district thinks it's fine and okay to move him around at its whim. In LCISD, a special needs child doesn't get to stay at the same elementary for his whole young life. No, you get penalized for having a condition, in our case autism, that is beyond your control. 1 special ed teacher and 2 paraprofessionals, that is essentially all that is required to staff this program. How can this district say that we can't afford that much at bare minimum for all of our elementaries? Elementary is when this program can get our kids on the right path, behaviorally and socially. So we're about to have 26 elementaries here, but the program is only in 10 of them. And yet it's at all of our secondary campuses. And further, we need a bit more transparency here. Much of this information is not even readily available to us as parents. The district website doesn't mention that the program is only at certain campuses or which campuses those are, and that it's subject to be moved around at will. A parent would have to be beyond diligent to try and figure out where this program is even located, because so many of our campuses do not have any services for our children, but this fact is basically hidden from us as parents until we are already in the thick of it, waiting a full semester for our ARD meeting. The trauma of these repeated moves could be avoided for our kids if LCISD would simply provide the SESC program at every elementary, or even at least the majority of elementaries. And I would ask the board to actually look at the numbers of children awaiting their ARDs right now, at the numbers diagnosed with autism and other conditions, and I believe you will find that the need to expand this program is far greater than what we're being told. This need is still being ignored, and our children are the ones who are paying. How many times was I told by administrators about my son's home campus? There's nothing there for him. There's nothing there for him. The brand new campus we're actually zoned to, there's nothing there for him. And while that statement was certainly true, what they don't tell you is that it's really code for the district refuses to put services at every campus. How is this right or fair or equitable? How can our kids be expected to ever build on their progress if they are continually moved around? Why is it okay to do this to one of our most vulnerable populations of children? This is not like rezoning to a new school. In that case, at least whole neighborhoods of kids or grades of kids are moved to a different school. In our case, we are talking about single solitary children who are suddenly moved elsewhere, all because of some thoughtless edict by officials who don't know or seem to care about its effects in the least. I again urge this board to help put the SESC program in all of our elementaries. Please stop forcing our children to perpetually move around. Help them have continuity in their lives. This issue needs to be made an agenda item for an upcoming board meeting. I would like to hear a discussion about this in a public forum so that I and other special needs parents can know where you stand. Our children are not chess pieces. They are worthy. They have value. They have emotions. And it's high time that this district realize that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's
all, Madam
That's all? Okay. All right. At this time, we need the approval of minutes. May I hear a motion to approve the minutes for the May 14th, 2019 special meeting workshop?
I'll make a motion.
We got a motion. Do I have a
I'll second.
second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? May I have the motion to approve the minutes of the May 16th, 2019 regular board meeting? There's my motion. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. No opposed? Okay. All right, we should have at least one board member report tonight. You ready?
I do, Madam President. So I had an opportunity to attend my first Facilities Committee meeting, and I have some updates on our facilities. The first is from the 2014 bond issue. Culver Elementary and Roberts Middle School, both schools which are slated to open in the fall. Substantial completion for Culver Elementary is July 1st. Substantial completion on Roberts Middle School is June 30th. And then teachers can move into Roberts Middle School July 22nd. And for Culver Elementary, teacher move-in is July 23rd. The new maintenance and operations facility, the one-year warranty corrections are being addressed. The service center, substantial completion was achieved on May 31st, and they're going through the punch list right now. Tamaron Elementary, they're pushing dirt. Construction is underway. Piers have been drilled and poured, grade beams starting this week. The district-wide access controls are proposed for the final acceptance at this board meeting. For the 2017 bond, the synthetic turf that's at Foster, and Terry, George Ranch, and Fulshire, all the projects are scheduled to be completed by August 2nd, 2019. Foster High School, they've demoed the lockers. They're going to be receiving the new lockers the first week in July, and then in the fall, that should be completed. There are several multi-campus improvement projects that are ongoing at Williams Elementary School, Campbell Elementary School, Navarro, and Wessendorf. There are freezer and cooler replacements at Taylor, Ray, Travis, and Seguin. They've demoed the old freezer and cooler replacements. Beasley and Austin, they'll demo this week, and then they'll be receiving the new equipment this week. The Alternative Learning Center, there's an addition and renovations, and the design for that is in progress, and we've got some items on our agenda this month regarding some geotechnical and site surveys. The Jane Long Historical Gym renovations, the schematic design is going to be on the August board meeting agenda. The language other than learning lab equipment project, they expect each, Lamar, Terry, and Foster are going to be receiving 2 labs, and we expect that to be completed by the end of July. And the electrical proposals on this month's board agenda. Fuel tank replacement at the Transportation Center. The design is in progress on that. There's no schedule as of right now. The facilities assessment. So the district has a facilities assessment, which will then be turned into a long-range plan for facilities. The questionnaires have been completed and turned into the district. Mr. McKeever has said that the campus assessment walks with the firm that's completing the assessment has been completed at Huggins, Lindsay, Bentley, and McNeil, and they're going to be continuing to do several schools throughout the summer. The classroom intruder locks project is complete. Final payment is on August board agenda. Child nutrition serving lines, they're in fabrication. That's Terry High School and George Junior High. Randall High School and Wright Junior High School construction has commenced. And then Trailer Stadium, the design is in progress for the new press box. They want to make sure that we get all of the things that need to be approved by us ready, so that way when the football season is over, they can start work on the press box.
Thank you. Good job for your first time.
Thank you.
Excellent. Any other board reports? I just have a couple. Since this board was seated in May, they went to a Huggins 40th anniversary celebration. We've then to a Hubenek 10th anniversary celebration. We were at 5 graduations, with Fulsher having their very first one. So we just throw y'all into the deep end right away, don't we? And then, of course, we all completed last week the TASB Leadership Conference in San Antonio. So we are back and we are ready to work. All right. So at this time, do we have any superintendent reports?
We do not, Madam President.
Okay, so let's move forward with creating a consent agenda. If you wish for a pull, please designate so that we can do that. All right, goal A, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, and we're going to pull Foster High School's power set will not be part of that.
And a part of that is because of the nuclear institute that was going to fund it, determined that they could not pay for minors, and so they're going back to take another look at that.
All right. So we did A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, all right, B1, B2, B3, B4.
You don't,
We're gonna pull that.
unless you want to pull it for discussion. If you do not, then there's no action taken at all on it.
Okay, so let's just leave it alone, okay, for right now. All right, B5,
Madam Chair,
Oh.
what was the?
that we're not, are we pulling it? or-
It is a discussion and possible action, and
So we're
they would
pull.
have to put, if they didn't pull it, to discuss and
Then it would go
take
through.
action, then there would be no action.
So we're
taken
pulling
at all.
B4.
So I think you need to pull it to allow
Yeah,
the
right.
possibility of no action.
No, we did, we
Right.
said pull B4. Okay, yeah. And B5, we need to pull so we can put names in?
Correct.
All right. B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12, B13, B14, B15, B16, B17, B18, B19, okay, I'm sorry. I thought I was going too slow. B20, B21, B22, B23, B24, and C, Golda Technology, C1. All right. So our consent agenda consists of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with pulling C from that. 7, 8, 9, 10. B 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and C1. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And no opposed? All right. So let's move to B4. Do I hear a motion? Hearing none, then it just dies, correct? Okay. No action is taken. All right, let's move to page 101, B5. And we need a delegate and an alternate for that day. And it is during the TASA-TASB convention in Dallas, I think September 21st through the 23rd. And usually that Saturday afternoon is when the delegates meet. So did we have someone who wished to participate?
I think she's already.
Okay, Joy. Do you want to be the delegate or the alternate?
There's a nomination.
I would nominate Joy,
Okay.
yes, as the delegate.
You want to be,
I accept.
okay. Do we need a second for that?
No, you can just get your
That's
nomination
okay.
and vote on it.
Okay, let's just get our nominations. Okay, as an alternate, I don't like being the alternate.
I think one of the men should go.
Has everybody done? Who's currently on the board?
Or Mandy.
Mandy?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt.
It's very interesting.
It is very interesting.
Okay, so the, may I have a motion to accept Ms. Willis, Ms. Bonzel as the delegate and alternate to the 2019 Texas Association of School Board Fall Convention?
I'll make the motion to approve
Do I-
Joy and Mandy.
Do I have a second? We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies. All right, so this time, Dr. Randall, we need to head to close. Do we have anything else that we need to?
Nope,
Do we have
we're ready
anything
for closed
in
session.
information that we need to revisit?
Sorry, if we have an information item we'd like to ask for, that's not at this time, right?
That's correct.
after.
No. This is, if we had any more questions about the ones that are in the agenda, in the board book. Okay, so we're good. All right, so at this time, at 7:24, we're adjourning to closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.082. The Open Meetings Act to discuss personnel, land acquisition, or consultation with our attorney. All right. 7:20. We're back from closed session at 8 PM. Are there any motions from closed session?
Yes, Madam Chairman, I move that the Board of Trustees approve renewal of 2019 to 2020 contract recommendations.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Any other motions? That's you. You're on.
The Board of Trustees reject the property tax settlement offer in cause number 04 DCV 134011, Corbin County et al. Versus Lorene Alford et al.
Is there a second? We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Or both of them. There we go. All right, at this time, as we finish, are there any future agenda items or information items we wish to see in the future?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to request an information item covering the updates and the changes in the new laws covering the special education department programs and the functions of the various programs.
Okay. You got that, Dr.
Yes, ma'am.
There'll be an information item in
Information in the
In
future.
the future.
In the future.
Did you have an
I did.
information? Or
I don't know if it's an information or an agenda item, but I want to have a discussion. I want some information on our SRO program and how many officers are assigned.
Okay, we've had that before, but you're new to the board, so I think we can probably get that update in the next board book as for information. I'm already looking at it. Okay. We can get that information. It should be it'll be an information item.
Information item.
Okay. Go ahead.
I just had a clarification. Did you want to have just information, or do you want a discussion?
Well, we
You
can
said-
discuss as we have information.
Okay.
Yeah,
Both.
okay.
And then I would like an information item also on the detectors, that the FlySense and the Halo Smart, I don't know, I have my glasses on, the cost and benefits to have them installed at each junior high and high school. Those are for the vaping,
Okay.
all that good
So
stuff.
you just,
In the
you want an
bathroom- in the
in the
bathrooms.
information item of what.
The costs and the benefits of those,
Of doing it at this time.
from the FlySense and the Halo Smart and how,
So it's easier if we
junior
do
highs
an
and high
information
schools.
item, and then if we see that we need
Right,
to move it.
definitely an information item,
Okay.
yes.
Are there any other? Yes.
I'd like to, given that there's been several really tragic drownings in our county, I'd like to see if the district could provide a presentation on what our district does in terms of water safety, swim program in fourth grade for us, the new board members, and then also a discussion of possible action. And I guess I would be seeking really a proposal from the district on how the mechanics of this would work, but potentially adding in that last week or two of the school year where, after STAR is over, adding some sort of water safety lesson for our kids.
I know several schools do already. It's just a matter of which ones, so it just get some information of which ones are doing it and what they're doing, and give that information to other schools to provide it. It's not something we really need to take an action on, so.
Well, I would want to get information on it.
Okay.
And if some schools are doing it, I would want to, depend on the expertise of the district to set the specifics, but I do think it may be appropriate for the board to say that, we think that it would be a good district-wide program to have a water safety program.
And I know that we do have things in place already, don't we? We're getting it, shaking and nodding of head. I think these are all very good, and I think since you're new board members, there are a lot of things already in place, so we don't have to reinvent and put more added pressure on on our staff. So, looks like we'll be busy.
Y'all got 'em?
Okay. Is there anything else? All right, before we adjourn, any upcoming meetings and events, and I had One, because I know we're not meeting again till August 1st, and that is a board workshop. Am I correct on that?
Budget.
For budget. But on Tuesday, July 2nd, there is a reception that we, as a board, have been invited to at the History Fort Bend Museum, and if you're able to attend, Ms. Fossick said she would RSVP for us, so I think some of you got this flyer. If not, if you want some more information, you can find out about it. But other than that, I don't know anything else that we as a board have been. Okay? Anything else? All right, then we'll adjourn at 8:05. Thank you very much, and enjoy your July.